Listín Diario editorial for February 1st of 2023. Trujillo culture. More than 60 years after the death of the dictator Rafael Leonidas Trujillo, the country has still not been able to completely destroy itself. Behaviors or ways of thinking and exercising authority prevail with similar patterns in many cases to those of that dictatorship. For example, transparency or democratic forms of accountability have not been able to consolidate in 6 decades, despite all the efforts that have been made for institutionality. Institutionality itself continues to be a beautiful idea, but it becomes a fiction when it is discovered that corruption is rampant because control mechanisms are violated without major consequences. Which is what also happens when the rules for the correct administration of public money are not strictly enforced, nor are the inexperiences of failures of public officials or servants punished. 62 years after the fall of Trujillo, it is difficult for the press or any citizen to access or receive timely information on matters of public or community interest, despite the existence of Law 200-04, which orders them to be delivered. Government institutions, this and the previous ones, take pains to take the body out of this duty and always presume that, by offering them, they are exposing themselves to some risk. Official secrecy, first cousin of censorship, predominates over any need, however legitimate, that society might have to know how the government managed the treasury. These days, a young man from Memphis, United States, died after being beaten by 5 black police officers, an event that raised a wave of indignation and protest in that country. Instead of covering up the facts, justifying or denying them, the police of that state released different images of videos and photos of the attack, arrested the perpetrators, dismantled their units, and left the corresponding punishment in the hands of justice. In countries like ours, where Trujillo's customs of hiding or manipulating facts are kept alive, and even intolerance towards the freedoms promoted by democracy, such as response, one of the transparency, is unthinkable. When will truly be a democratic plural nation where transparency and the freedom to seek and disseminate information is not so conditioned by that Trujillo culture? For Listín Diario, voiceover and translations by Indira Rodriguez.